The glittering skyline of Los Angeles holds its breath as the fallout from a single, earth-shattering revelation threatens to tear the very fabric of its most powerful families apart. The week of October 6th is not merely a turning point. It is a demolition derby of relationships, a 5-day stretch where loyalties are tested, empires tremble, and the truth, once a silent specter, becomes a roaring avalanche. Following Steffi's explosive confrontation, the characters of the bold and the beautiful are plunged into a maelstrom of consequences from which there is no easy escape. Monday, October 6th. The dust settles and the battle lines are drawn. The episode opens not with dialogue, but with a deafening silence. The aftermath of Steffi's bombshell hangs thick in the air of the Forrester Creations main office. Brooke is ashen, her hand trembling as she reaches for a glass of water, the hope for the future logo on the bottle a cruel mockery of her current state. Ridge stands frozen, his gaze darting between his wife's shattered visage and his daughter's defiant one. He is a man torn in two, his heart with the woman he loves, but his paternal instinct screaming at him to protect his daughter from her own brutal honesty. Steffi does not back down. "Someone had to say it, Dad," she states, her voice low but steady. "We've all been tiptoeing around the truth for months, watching this obsession consume you. It's not healthy. It's not normal. It's destroying this family." She lays out a meticulous, cold-hearted case, recounting the Italy trip, the constant whispered phone calls, the way Ridge's entire world has shrunk to fit only Brooke's orbit, leaving his children his company, and his legacy as distant satellites. Across town, Hope is a whirlwind of frantic energy. Having heard the news from a panicked Liam, she rushes to her mother's side, but finds a fortress. Brooke, in a rare moment of stubborn pride, refuses to see her. This rejection sends Hope into a spiral of anger, directed squarely at Steffi. She had no right. Hope declares to a conflicted Liam. This was a private matter. She just poured gasoline on a fire to see what would burn. Liam, ever the mediator, tries to argue for Steffi's perspective that the family was suffering in silence, but Hope is having none of it. The battle line between the Logan and Forrester women is redrawn, deeper and more venomous than ever before. The day's most poignant scene, however, belongs to Eric and Donna. In the quiet opulence of the Forrester mansion, Eric watches the drama unfold from a distance, his wisdom born of decades of similar storms. He takes Donna's hand. "Brooke has faced worse," he muses, a sad smile on his face. "But a wound from your own child, that cuts deeper than any business rival or scorned lover ever could." He resolves to speak with Ridge, not as a subordinate, but as a father who has made his own share of catastrophic mistakes in the name of love. Tuesday, October 7th, the corporate fallout and a secret weapon. The professional and personal worlds of the Forresters have always been intertwined, and today, they violently collide. Steffi arrives at the office early, determined to seize the narrative. She calls an emergency meeting with Carter and the board of directors, framing Ridge's emotional instability as a corporate governance risk. She argues, with chilling efficiency, that his single-minded focus on Brooke's well-being has led to neglected designs, missed deadlines, and a leadership vacuum that she, as COO, has been forced to fill. Carter, loyal to Ridge, but bound by his fiduciary duty, listens with a grave expression, realizing this is far more than a simple family squabble. Meanwhile, Ridge seeks refuge in the one place that has always been his sanctuary, the design studio. But the sketches before him are not the elegant lines of a new collection. They are angry, chaotic scribbles. He can't focus. Every shadow, every whisper from the outer office feels like a judgment. Brooke arrives, having mustered a fragile composure. "We can't let them do this, Ridge," she pleads, her eyes begging for his strength. "We are not a problem to be managed. We are a marriage to be fought for." Their embrace is desperate, a lifeboat in a churning sea, but the doubt Steffi planted has already taken root in Ridge's mind. Is his love a shield, or is it, as Steffi claims, a cage? The wild card in this high-stakes game reveals herself, Poppy Nozawa. Having heard the office gossip, She pays a surprise visit to Hope at the cabin. While Hope is initially dismissive, Poppy offers a surprisingly sharp analysis. The Forsters operate on power and perception, she says, sipping her tea. Steffi is using facts as weapons. You need to fight with something stronger. She subtly suggests that Hope and Brooke need to regain control of the hope for the future narrative, perhaps by launching a bold, independent philanthropic venture that would showcase Brooke's strength and resilience, publicly reframing her from a victim to a victor. Hope looks at Poppy with newfound respect, seeing not just a flighty newcomer, but a potential strategist. Wednesday, October 8th, a father's ultimatum and a mother's resolve. The emotional core of the week explodes in a powerful confrontation at the Forrester mansion. Eric summons Ridge for a talk. It is not the gentle conversation he planned. Eric, with Donna by his side, lays down the law. I have stood by you through every crisis, Ridge. Eric begins, his voice firm. Through your wars with Bill, your back and forths with Taylor and Brooke, through every scandal. But this paralysis is beneath you. You are the leader of this company and this family. Act like one. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers hint that Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, and Remy Price, Kristen Weissman, may scheme together. Will Remy and Sheila strike a new deal that leads to even more romantic trouble? At the moment, Sheila thinks Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, has come back to her thanks to his sessions with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. Although Sheila is hoping to do things right this time and resume their romantic future, she's in for a rude awakening. At some point, Sheila will inevitably realize Taylor and Deacon are attracted to each other. There's a spark between Deacon and Taylor that they'll have a hard time letting go of in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, Remy will plan to do whatever it takes to repair the damage with Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, and restore the trust between them. That's not going to be an easy task, so Remy could turn to Sheila as a confidant and seek her advice. Sheila has helped Remy in the past and may find herself in a position to offer more assistance. However, Sheila may want something for herself in return. Since Sheila needs to keep her hands clean and prove to Deacon she can stay on her best behavior, she might put Remy to work sabotaging his bond with Taylor. Remy might carry out some orders for Sheila as he works to keep Taylor and Deacon apart. Sheila may decide that if Taylor's out of the way, Deacon will focus on only her again. Once Deacon and Sheila's marriage is back on truly solid ground, she may argue that Deacon will embrace forgiveness and push Deke to forgive Remy, too. Whatever the case, it'd be interesting to see Remy join forces with Sheila as they work on achieving romantic bliss. This seems like a situation where Sheila and Remy would ultimately get caught plotting together, so that could lead to even more drama. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Remy and Sheila will have their work cut. He delivers a stark ultimatum. Ridge has 48 hours to publicly and decisively reunify the family and reassert his authority at Forrester Creations, or Eric will be forced to side with Steffi and the board in a vote of no confidence. The threat is not just to Ridge's marriage, but to his life's work. The weight of his father's disappointment lands on Ridge with the force of a physical blow. Simultaneously, Brooke undergoes a profound transformation. After a long, tearful conversation with Hope, the damsel in distress facade crumbles away, revealing the fierce Logan survivor beneath. I am done being the subject of family interventions, she declares, staring at her reflection in her bedroom mirror. She decides to take Poppy's advice and run with it. She marches into Forrester Creations, head held high, and directly into a meeting with the PR department, instructing them to draft a press release for the Brooke Logan Resilience Foundation, a charity supporting women in crisis. The move is a masterstroke, putting Steffi on the defensive and stunning the entire office with its audacity and timing. The episode ends with a cliffhanger. Ridge, reeling from his father's ultimatum, walks in on Brooke finalizing her plans. He sees not the vulnerable woman he needs to protect, but the formidable, independent force he fell in love with decades ago. The look on his face is one of pure, unadulterated shock. Thursday, October 9th, shifting alliances and a midnight confession. The power dynamics within the family are now in a state of flux. Steffi is initially furious at Brooke's grandstanding, seeing the foundation as a transparent ploy to win public sympathy. However, a quiet conversation with Carter gives her pause. Publicly attacking a charity for domestic abuse survivors, Steffi? That's a fight you cannot win, he advises gently. It's bad for the brand, and it's bad for you. For the first time, Steffi feels the tide of opinions subtly shifting. She is no longer the clear-eyed savior of the family, but risks being perceived as the cold-hearted villain. This forces an unlikely alliance. Thomas, who has been quietly observing the chaos, approaches his sister. While he agrees that Ridge's behavior has been extreme, he appeals to her sense of family. We can't let them tear us apart, Steffi. Dad and Brooke are a unit. Attacking her is attacking him. There has to be another way. The siblings share a moment of genuine connection, both haunted by the ghosts of their parents' tumultuous past and fearful of a future where the fractures become permanent. The most raw and vulnerable scene of the week occurs late at night at the Cliff house. Unable to sleep, Ridge shows up at Steffi's door. The anger is gone, replaced by a profound exhaustion. Over a glass of whiskey, he doesn't defend himself or attack her. Instead, he confesses his deepest fear. What if you're right, Steffi? What if this love, this all-consuming need I have to keep her safe, is my greatest weakness? He whispers, his voice breaking. The thought of failing her, of losing her, it's a void I can't even look into. In this moment, he is not a titan of industry, but a scared, flawed man. Steffi, seeing her father so laid bare, is moved to tears, her righteous anger melting into a complicated, painful love. Friday, October 10th, a public peace and a private war. The week concludes with a stunning public display and the promise of more private turmoil. In a masterful act of crisis management, Ridge and Steffi appear together at a hastily arranged press conference at Forrester Creations. With the board and employees looking on, Ridge stands tall, his arm around his daughter. He acknowledges the recent family tensions but frames them as the growing pains of a family that loves too hard, not too little. He publicly endorses Brooke's new foundation and reaffirms Steffi's indispensable role as COO. It is a performance worthy of an Oscar, projecting an image of unity and strength. Eric, watching from his office monitor, gives a slow, approving nod. The immediate corporate threat has been neutralized. But the true climax of the week happens behind closed doors. Ridge goes to Brooke's house. The public masks come off. He tells her about his conversation with Steffi, about his confession of fear. Brooke listens, her heart in her eyes. Your love is not my cage, Ridge Forrester, she says, stepping close to him. It is my anchor. But I don't need you to spend every breath protecting me from the world. I need you to stand beside me as I face it. In a moment of intense passion and desperate need, they kiss. It is not the gentle kiss of reconciliation, but a fierce, claiming kiss, a reaffirmation of their bond against all odds. However, as they break apart, Ridge holds her face and says words that change everything. You're right. I need to stand beside you. And that starts by finally dealing with the root of all this pain. A dark, determined look crosses his face. It's time I had a long overdue conversation with Deacon Sharp. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience with the chilling certainty that while one fire has been temporarily contained, Ridge is now headed directly into the heart of the inferno, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation that will redefine every relationship on the canvas. The week of reckoning is over, but the war for the soul of the Forrester and Logan families has only just begun. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers for the week of November 10th to 14th reveal that Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, will make more messes while Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, inches closer to the danger zone. Brooke Logan Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang may also be suspicious, so let's talk about all the drama ahead on BNB. For starters, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, and Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, will continue to feel a magnetic pull. Deacon and Taylor are clearly becoming obsessed with the unique bond they've found, so that'll leave them incredibly tempted around each other. The longer Taylor and Deacon struggle with what they're feeling, the more likely it becomes that they'll cross a dangerous line. Of course, that line could indeed be dangerous considering how Sheila operates and the threat she previously made against Taylor. Although Sheila tried to downplay her fatal comment in the aftermath, it's not a stretch to think Sheila would go as far as trying to eliminate Taylor for good. That could be a growing concern if Taylor and Deacon keep obsessing over their connection. As for Brooke, she's already puzzled over Taylor pushing Deacon back to Sheila. Brooke may get more suspicious and dig deeper into all this. So will she find out Deacon and Taylor are secretly into each other? Once Sheila finds out Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, doesn't want her at Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Hope Logan's Annika Noel nuptials, that'll give her a good reason to sulk. Speaking of sulking, Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, will be doing plenty of that in the coming episodes as well. Locked up Luna will make more messes even without meaning to since Electra will fixate Will Spencer's crew Morrow, baby mama, and all the drama this pregnancy brings to the table. Although Will's going to reassure Electra about their future, she won't be able to shake her worries completely. At some point, Remy Price, Christian Weissman, may return for another prison visit and tell Luna how awful things went at Forrester Creations, so we'll see if Luna offers up some advice. Meanwhile, Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, may throw himself into work to avoid dealing with the pain of all this. Frozen in time. The past and the present colliding in a silent, powerful explosion. Katie's mind screamed for caution, for the safety and security that Carter represented. But her heart, her treacherous, hopeful heart, was beating a frantic, desperate rhythm for the man in front of her, the man who was both her ruin and her redemption, the bold and the beautiful, B&B. Spoilers hint that Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, and Remy Price, Christian Weissman, may scheme together. Will Remy and Sheila strike a new deal that leads to even more romantic trouble? At the moment, Sheila thinks Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, has come back to her thanks to his sessions with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. Although Sheila is hoping to do things right this time and resume their romantic future, she's in for a rude awakening. At some point, Sheila will inevitably realize Taylor and Deacon are attracted to each other. There's a spark between Deacon and Taylor that they'll have a hard time letting go of in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, Remy will plan to do whatever it takes to repair the damage with Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, and restore the trust between them. That's not going to be an easy task, so Remy could turn to Sheila as a confidant and seek her advice. Sheila has helped Remy in the past and may find herself in a position to offer more assistance. However, Sheila may want something for herself in return. Since Sheila needs to keep her hands clean and prove to Deacon she can stay on her best behavior, she might put Remy to work sabotaging his bond with Taylor. Remy might carry out some orders for Sheila as he works to keep Taylor and Deacon apart. Sheila may decide that if Taylor's out of the way, Deacon will focus on only her again. Once Deacon and Sheila's marriage is back on truly solid ground, she may argue that Deacon will embrace forgiveness and push Deke to forgive Remy, too. Whatever the case, it'd be interesting to see Remy join forces with Sheila as they work on achieving romantic bliss. This seems like a situation where Sheila and Remy would ultimately get caught plotting together, so that could lead to even more drama. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Remy and Sheila will have their work cut out for them no matter what, so stay tuned for updates on any shocking news to come. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Sheila and Deacon will have to tackle more hurdles if they expect to stay together, so stay tuned for updates on their efforts to go the distance. The bold and the beautiful, B&B. Spoilers recap for Thursday, November 16th, reveals that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, stopped by the cabin and saw Hope Logan's, Annika Noel, romantic setup. So she sarcastically asked if Hope would like her to bring her some lingerie. Although Brooke understood Hope's desire to move on and even have a little fun, she asked why it had to be with Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. Hope defended her bond with Thomas since she didn't have to beg for his undivided attention and darted in the other room to finish getting ready. Later, Hope assumed Thomas was early when she answered the door to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton. Liam was floored to see Hope wearing lingerie with wine, candles, and flowers behind her. When Hope asked why Liam was there, he mentioned thinking Beth Spencer, Jordan Linariza, might need her sleeping bag for her sleepover this weekend. Liam asked what Hope was wearing, so Hope told him it was called lingerie. After Liam wondered if Hope was expecting Thomas, She tried to shut the door on him and wrap up the conversation. Liam insisted on talking about this scantily clad elephant in the room, so he admitted he previously didn't think he wanted to know the details of Hope's romance with Thomas. Hope pointed out that Liam knew now, so she just wanted to unwind and enjoy a night with Thomas, without any drama. Liam grew angry as he asked if Hope was even hearing herself right now, but Hope said her plans didn't have to meet his approval. Although Liam launched a tirade about Thomas hiding Beth's survival and inflicting so much pain, Hope defended him as a changed man. Hope insisted she'd changed as well and pointed to Liam's callous reaction to her request for forgiveness as one of the reasons why. Hope refused to let Liam judge her, but he claimed he was scared for her and suggested she should move on with someone besides Thomas. Once Hope pointed out that Thomas didn't have eyes for other women, she said Liam didn't get to tell her to dump Thomas. Not when Liam ran to Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes would, once things got hard. Liam said he was sorry for hurting Hope and added that they'd be connected forever through Beth. After Liam declared that his kids were more important than anything in the world, he said he was always going to worry for them and for Hope. "And damn if I don't still love you, always will," Liam said, which left Hope looking taken aback. At Forrester Creations on Thursday's B&B episode, Brooke found Thomas and wanted to talk to him before his evening with Hope. Thomas acknowledged Brooke's misgivings about him and pointed out that Hope didn't share them, but Brooke said that's what worried her. Although Thomas offered to apologize again, Brooke said that didn't work unless he changed his behavior. Thomas argued that he'd done that and added that Hope truly believed in him now. Brooke claimed she didn't want Thomas to get hurt either, but Thomas assured her that no one was going to get hurt at all. Since Thomas was a handsome, successful man who was surrounded by beautiful women all the time, Brooke acted like he should be with one of them instead. Thomas made it clear that he only wanted Hope, but Brooke warned that Hope would never forget the pain that he caused her family. Although Hope was feeling lost, Brooke said her daughter would find her way back, and once that happened, this connection Thomas felt like they had would be cut. Next, Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, was nervous about meeting Steffi and wanted to make a good impression. As Luna and RJ Forrester, Joshua Hoffman, prepared for their dinner with Steffi and John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, RJ offered reassurance. At the Cliff House, Steffi leaned on Finn for support after giving him updates on the grim news about Eric Forrester, John McCook, off-screen. Once RJ and Luna got a warm welcome, RJ revealed what a big help Luna had been on Eric's grand finale collection. There was talk about Eric's terminal condition and how Luna had asked for stories about Eric's history when he got frustrated. Steffi thanked Luna for helping RJ carry this burden and for distracting Eric from his illness. After takeout arrived, Finn shared a funny memory from when Luna was little as they all shared a laugh. Steffi felt like Forrester Creations needed someone as caring as Luna, so she was excited to work with RJ again and get to know Luna more. RJ suggested a toast to the future, so they all raised a glass. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Luna has more drama ahead of her thanks to Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, so stay tuned.